Coming up on tonight's program, Water Alert Level 3, the Van der Waals, food safety and the links between GE and writers helping writers. Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Friday the 30th of January. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Two of the region's councils, Hamilton City and Waikato District Council, are asking residents to further conserve their water use to reduce the need for additional water restrictions. Both councils are on Water Alert 2, which means sprinklers and watering systems can only be used on alternate days between 6 to 8 a.m. and 6 to 8 p.m. while Waipa District Council has moved to Water Alert 3, which includes a total ban on the use of sprinklers. Despite the introduction of alert levels over the last few weeks, the councils are still seeing increasing levels of water use. Hamilton City Council Waters Compliance Manager Trent Fowles says Hamilton's levels were close to triggering further restrictions. Chiefs head coach Dave Rennie has extended his contract with the Chiefs Rugby Club and will continue to lead the team for another 2 years. Chiefs CEO Andrew Flexman says with Dave re-signing to 2017, it provides great continuity for their club, players, fans and stakeholders. He says Dave is a great man who has made a big difference to their organisation since he joined in 2012, and they have absolute confidence that he will continue to drive strong results for the Chiefs. Allegations are flying that Whakatane District Council are desperately trying to entrap Matata ratepayers into helping pay for sewage schemes in Edgecombe and Ohope. In an Environment Court case currently underway in Tauranga, Sustainable Matata Secretary Neville Harris says that the scheme is aimed at snaring ratepayers into helping pay the millions of dollars the district needs to upgrade sewage programs. Neville alleges that Whakatane District Council went against the recommendations of its own scheme review when they decided to go ahead with the $13.8 million Matata scheme, which attracts a government subsidy. Health Minister Jonathan Coleman says more support will be provided for newly qualified midwives with a recently established mentoring program. The Midwifery First Year of Practice program has been developed by the Midwifery Council and the New Zealand Colleges of Midwives with the support of Health Workforce New Zealand. Jonathan believes the program will help to increase graduates' confidence and help to assure families about the quality of care. It will also be compulsory for newly registered midwives practicing in New Zealand, and the Midwifery Council will have a more defined role to support new midwives. Now for our weather for Saturday. Hamilton, cloudy periods with a few spots of rain and light winds. Your high is 27 and an overnight low of 17. Waikato, cloudy periods with scattered light rain or drizzle. It's going to be humid with light winds. 27 and an overnight low of 18 for you, Paeroa. Matamata 25 and 18. Te Awamutu 27 and 17, and Tokoroa 24 and 17. Tauranga, occasional rain or drizzle, light winds with an expected high of 25 and an overnight low of a warm 20. For the rest of the bay, occasional light rain or drizzle, humid with light winds. Your expected high is 25 and an overnight low of 19 for you, Te Puke. Looking to the seas now, marine forecast for West Coast. Saturday there is a northerly of 15 knots. Your high tide is at 8:26 a.m. East Coast Bay of Plenty, northeast 10 knots with an occasional drizzle, and your high tide is at 5:26 p.m. Still to come on Central News, food safety, the links between GE and gut problems. The Van der Waals, they played at Festival 1, but after the break, Freelance Magazine. Welcome back to Central News. Freelance magazine has been providing support to writers in New Zealand for over 30 years, but things are about to change.
Well, there's more than two of us on the management board. We are in the process of rewriting our constitution, and we will have a proper chair, secretary and treasurer, but the main body of the work will be done by myself as editor-in-chief, which is a very important title, but it really just means I'll be out there scouting for content and making contact with all these writers and twisting their arm up behind their back, but also allowing members of the subscribers to send us their own articles too, because you learn all the time from what other people are doing. Kay Lister is going to be responsible for the production, what the magazine looks like, and this is what it's looked like for 34 years. And I've been told a lot of people are very fond of this, but I have to say, who uses a typewriter any longer? So this at the moment is the design that we're looking to changing to. We want to keep it that size because easy to post, but we will also be adding an e-zine. So for those who've got e-readers in this modern age, they'll be able to get it cheaper, faster, and at less expense to us if they download from the internet. So we're looking forward very much to our new look. And we're going to up the number of pages, we've doubled them, and we're going to have a lead article in every issue about somebody that's just done it. And the first one is a lovely guy, Paul Martin, who's ex-Waikato Chiefs and has got a design studio, Riverstone in Hamilton, and has just done the most wonderful book, the first in a series which he's going to call Adventures of Corey, and it's graphic novels for young, mainly boy readers. And I'm just delighted to think that he'll be launching it to such a high standard.
Home Affront, women's experience of domestic invasion. What's that going to be all about?
It's intriguing, and it's also a little bit sad. It's not my idea, actually. I must credit it to Gwyneth Jones, who also lives in Tauranga, and she suffered a very traumatic home invasion that's left her damaged physically, and she's recovered from it. And because she had that experience, she has had stories from other women, and I have heard 3 or 4 incredible stories, and she always wanted to put together an anthology, so she'll be working with me on this first one, and we'll be inviting freelance subscribers and the general public to write in and tell their stories, what it felt like, what happened, how they dealt with it. And we'll be asking, we've already had interest from the police. They will write a section on how to best protect yourself and how to handle it, and we'll also have a contribution from the victim support team on how to recover. And it has amazed me how people rebuild their lives after a traumatic event, and so I think that will be quite an exciting book to start with in our freelance anthology series. The next one, Hilary, is possibly even a little bit more interesting for some of us perhaps. We're calling it Popping the Cherry, and it's going to be New Zealanders' first experience of sex. And I think I told you earlier, John Cleese claims he lost his virginity in New Zealand, so we might ask him to write a foreword.
The launch of the brand new edition of Freelance magazine is expected in March. If you're a senior and you enjoy a bit of tennis, you could enter the Utamotai Tennis Club in Tauranga's Waitangi tournament. I spoke with Vivian Jones to find out more.
It originally was based at the Utamotai College, and I believe the principal of the college was patron for a number of years. And obviously there was a group of people got together and formed the club, and they had a little shed which they worked out of for all their activities, and they were there, we were there until 1990, and then about 1985-86, they formed a committee to look at making a larger complex which was separate from the college and would give them a home for tennis in Otamotai. So the committee, in conjunction with the council, were able to make their home at Bellevue Park, and construction began in about 1989, I think.
So, because it originally had plexi-pave, what on earth does that mean for someone who doesn't know much about tennis?
It's a hard court surface, but it's more forgiving than straight asphalt. And asphalt also makes the balls very dirty when you play on them.
True.
So to assist with playing, it was decided to lay the plexi pave, and that was on courts 1 to 8 originally, and then after a few years courts 9 to 12 were put in, and they were originally grass with some lines, and very difficult to play on. It was just like meadow grass, not complete with lumps and bumps. Then in 2003, it was decided to convert 8 courts to AstroTurf. So courts 5 to 8 and 9 to 12 were put into Astro grass.
It sounds like it's quite a big club. How many members do you guys have at the moment?
Currently we have about 350. And we have, like all sports these days, numbers fluctuate. But we seem to be in the 300 to 400 range constantly. We have peaked over 500 at one stage, which is a lot of people.
You can find out how to enter on Tennis New Zealand's website. Coming up after the break, what is really in our food and the Van der Waals. Welcome back to Central News. Oku whenua, aku kai, oku mō ake tonu atu. Our farms, our food, our future is the theme of a conference being held in Wellington. But you will have a chance to see some of the main speakers in our local areas.
Well, it's just one conference actually, but there are little things around the country afterwards. It's all starts off in Christchurch on the 9th of February, goes right through to the 19th, finishing in Auckland. The main one is the 14th and 15th, the weekend in Wellington. Food Matters Conference it's called. There is a website I can give people. That's for the weekend. And after that, there's a day and a half in Hawke's Bay. After that, a night in Rotorua where there's a little bit of a holiday for the speakers. Doing that, and then they come up to. We have at the Te Arahu complex in Morrisville Road in Hamilton. We've got one. We're arranging a meeting there with. That'll be the last time most of the speakers will be there. That is on the Thursday, and we will have a day there, perhaps with Ag Research as well. And then what's happened, the team is going to split up, and Don Huber is going to come and stay with me on from that night. So he'll be here on Thursday and Friday of that week. And I'll take him up to the airport on the Saturday. So basically, people have got the chance from here, go down to Wellington, which, as I say, it's 2 days. You can register online. And then hopefully, if if this goes out to Rotorua, there'll be this day. It's only a morning basically in Rotorua because they're doing the Wednesday night. They're doing at the Maori village.
Yes, yeah.
Can't remember the name. And then they'll be coming up here for lunch in Hamilton. So that Thursday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon is in Hamilton at Te Ara Hau. So if they want to do that, can contact me, and I can give them more details on that one.
Oh, fantastic. And tell us a little bit about some of these speakers that are going to be there.
The people that are here start off, Gilles Eric Seralini, who created a bit of a fuss 2 years ago, producing a paper on the damage that Roundup and GM foods are doing in rats, which is the first and basically the only long-term food safety study that's been done on GM foods. And he's one of the big speakers. He's going to be accompanied by a master chef who is actually part of the program, is that he will be talking, he'll be guest speaker at the dinner, talking. They've been working together on how the chef avoids GM foods and all this, that and the other. Then there is Vandana Shiva, who's an Indian lady who's developed a organisation for saving seeds, and she works a lot with small farmers, helping them to, on the seed saving things, because with GM food things they are not allowed to. Well, in actual fact, a lot of them are sterile seeds, and they cannot reproduce from them. But so they are not allowed to use seeds from the ones that which is a practice which has been going on for centuries. Then there is those two. Then there's a farmer, a farmer from Australia, Bob Mikeley, who's been here before. He's one who's actually suffered from the effects of contamination by GM crops, but from his neighbour, and he also is working on the economics and sustainability of agriculture over there.
If you would like to find out more about the conference, you can email us news@tvcentral.co.nz and we can put you in touch with Frank. Last weekend was Festival One, which showcases many young musicians. I met up with a local artist, Phil Vanderwell. So, Vanderwell, what does that mean?
I think it means from the well, which is Dutch, but here in New Zealand we say Vanderwell.
We do. We're very bad with our pronunciation on a lot of things.
And I'm okay with it.
So it's the name of your band, so it's you and your wife. What kind of music do you think how would you describe your music?
Various assortments of folk music, I guess, so sometimes an acoustic guitar, sometimes on electric, but it's all pretty quiet and somber.
What is the inspiration for it?
Most of my songs are about how sorry I am. I just can't not write about that. I try to write happy songs, it doesn't normally work. I don't know what inspires me. I enjoy playing guitar, and songs come out. They take a long time, but they eventually come.
Now you play, I would just call it the slide guitar, but there's an actual name for it, isn't
No, so it's slide guitar is kind of the style. You've got lap steels, and you've got pedal steel guitars and dobros and lots of different kinds of slide guitars. I've got a lap steel guitar that I play. Yeah.
How would you describe that sound? It's kind of like a real country, kind of raw sound.
Yeah, so that you've got kind of country western slide guitar, and then you've got your Hawaiian slide guitar, and I tend more towards the country western style. My music is a country western, but I enjoy that style of playing slide. Yeah.
So you released a couple of songs in 2012.
Yeah, I recorded 4 songs onto a little mini record, and just released them online to friends basically. And then again last year in August I released another 4 or 5 songs.
And where do you think, where do you go from here as someone who is, you've just kind of, not starting out, but you've got to get there, that next kind of level. Where do you go from here? What's your kind of plan?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I work full time, and I've just finished studying. I've got a diploma in civil engineering, which I'm not very interested in. It's interesting, but it's just not what I'm passionate about. And I have a few kids and my wife, and so music isn't really the main thing. Even though I want it to be a little higher up the ladder. So I think I'll just keep plodding away, and my songs take me like 5 years to finish, so they're not in any hurry. And yeah, if something happens, which I don't think it will, but if it does, then that would be cool. But if not, my friends love my music, and that's cool.
So it's more like a hobby and outlet of the creative process kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. I enjoy playing with other people as well. I play with Luke Thompson, and this weekend I'm playing with Holly Aerosmith. And so maybe that could be a thing, and my music could just be the hobby side of it. I don't know. I am an angry man. I am afraid of the rain, of the hay. I am a divided man. My mouth it breathes lies and deceit, kindness and peace. I am a lonely man. My family come to me.
That is Central News for today and this week. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can via our Facebook page, centralnews.tv, or email us, news@tvcentral.co.nz. Join me again, because next week we take a ride on the Waikato River. We find out about some fun music events in our regions and exhibitions, and kids' lunches for back to school. Until then, I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.